Hey guys, in this video we're going to be conducting some more HCMC stock analysis. I've got a few news items that I've scouted out from around the bazaars basically to bring you an update on this stock and where it is going. Lots of talk about the supposed court case that's coming up. I do want to reiterate that on the 26th it is just a deadline for Philip Morris to answer the lawsuit filed by HCMC. There's not a day in court, there's not anything like that just yet. They've got a couple of options going forward what they can do, and I really do want to reiterate that there's not going to be a dramatic court case and loads of news on the 26th. There will be an answer, but we don't know what that will be yet. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around after the intro, smash that like button, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in there. Hey guys, so before we get fully into the video, talk about HCMC and an MJNE partnership, I just want to clear up the court case that is coming over the next couple of days. Now firstly, this is just a deadline for an answer to the lawsuit. There is no day in court, they're just Philip Morris has got the deadline to answer, and they've got a couple of options that they do. They either put their hands up and go, yeah, hey guys, we stole/borrowed your product, here are the damages. They try and fight it themselves and counterclaim and take that whole protracted route, and then they could end up either getting away with it, or they could end up having to pay the damages essentially, or they could even just go, yeah, okay, we messed up. And there's even the potential for an acquisition. You know, Philip Morris is a huge company, HCMC is not huge at the moment, so there could be, I'm not saying that I've heard this anywhere, but there could be the potential of being acquired by Philip Morris and just dealing with the lawsuit that way. That is always an option with companies that are so huge like Philip Morris, billions and billions and billions of dollars market cap versus HCMC. So that is an option as well. Moving on to what I actually wanted to talk about today, we've got a potential partnership lined up between HCMC and MJNE, which is a cannabis big swing company essentially, and they entered into a partnership a couple of years back in comparison to the Q Cups. Now that has obviously gone its course. That was back in 2018, but there is the potential that these two companies can continue to merge together and help each other out going forward, and these then go forward in catalysts to help the market stock. Now I got this SEC filing as well for this way back from 2018, so you can have a look at just how this company worked and how they put together their answers and their resources together way back in 2018 on the 22nd of October 2018 that you can see there. So this is obviously still readily available for you to get at on the SEC website, so you can have a look at how this company had dealings with each other in the past and the potential for them to continue this going forward. Now another thing I noticed on Twitter, this is just a statement and a matter of fact, that HCMC at the moment is one of the most talked about stocks on multiple platforms across the United States, if not the world. I'm from the UK, I know about it, and it's not just the bulls that know about it, it's the bears, it's the MMs, it's the heavy institutional buyers. All eyes are on the company, so take advantage of the dips, because this is such a widely known company now that any sort of movement, any sort of news will move the share price if it's big enough news. There's also the potential for not to get overly hyped. As I've already mentioned, this company has got potential. It's not necessarily just a pump and dump stock, which is what a lot of people are referring to it as at the moment. So a lot of people don't expect much to happen on the 26th, because lawsuits can take years, and if PM don't go down without a fight, then that's going to take a long time to solve. So this is more about buying it as an investment from this person's opinion, which is Cosmo on Reddit, is more about buying the actual fundamentals of the company rather than buying the hype around the court case. And that is quite easy to agree with, to be fair. Like, there is money to be made in a short-term trade-off, of course there is, in buying the rumours and selling the news, but there's also some potential for this company going forward in terms of what it's trying to achieve in terms of the cannabis and the smokeless cigarettes, etc. So moving on to the next thing is that on E-Trade, now this isn't confirmed by any other sources, but the available shares were lowered to 85 billion. Now this hasn't been reflected on other platforms yet, but as you can see there in this handy screenshot provided, the shares outstanding is 85 billion. But then again, other platforms still have it where it originally was at 105 billion, but that is just something to look into and bear in mind. That is from Pay the Devil over on Reddit as well. In other news, Philip Morris CEO Andre, I'm going to massacre the name, Kansas Polos, sold over $3 million worth of common stock, 40,000 units at $86 a piece. Again, you can see this buy for form SEC filing here. So again, people are trying to liken this to what's going to go on with the court case, what are they going to do, etc, etc. And the fact of the matter is that CEOs of companies acquire and sell shares all the time. This isn't a hell of a lot of his ownership, only 4% essentially, so he's got 880,000 more shares to go, so he's only decreased his ownership by 4%, which isn't a great deal. So I can't really draw too much of a link between this and any potential upcoming news that we might see on the 26th, but it's just something to, it is a little bit of a coincidence that a CEO decides that he needs $3.5 million worth of stock sold just before they announce a court case, but that's that. And this is the guy sitting on the board that now. That's the director and CEO over on Philip Morris International website. Another news story is that one of the directors, which I'm just trying to scroll down to now, that Jennifer Lee is not going to be re-standing for election as the director when the annual AGM happens. Essentially, she's not going to be standing, and again, that was completed by SEC filing. So you can see here down on the tail end of this form, it's going to say Jennifer Lee informed the board of directors of Philip Morris International that she will not stand for re-election to the board in the 2021 annual meeting of shareholders. So that is another interesting thing to point out. People will be drawing parallels between this and the court case, but the fact of the matter is Philip Morris International is an absolute Goliath organisation when in comparison to HCMC, and this could just be essentially she's got better things to do, she wants to retire, she wants to move on somewhere else, she's got other fish to fry essentially. She might not necessarily be directly linked to anything to do with the HCMC lawsuit. So again, these things are just can be viewed as coincidences, but the more cynical people might try and draw a link between this and HCMC. Me, I'm not convinced, but I'm just presenting the information that I've found, and hopefully that is useful to you guys. So that is all the extra information that I've found at the moment. Some of it has come from more scrupulous sources, should we say, Twitter, Reddit, as well as the usual SEC filings and the mainstream website news from HCMC themselves. Sometimes you've got to do a lot of digging when it comes to these companies and literally get out anywhere where there is information, and then I'll try and scoop that information up and bring it to you guys as best that I can. I hope you found this video useful today. If you could smash that like button, it'd be absolutely amazing, and if you could consider subscribing as well, that would be awesome too. Hopefully I will see you in another investing episode. Catch you later.